meeting to order. Ask Councilman Martin to lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ask Clerk to call the roll.
Councilman Poole?
Here.
Councilman Cotton? Councilman Littles?
Here.
Councilman Watson?
Here.
Councilman Barton?
Here.
Mayor Lovelace?
Here. And approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Now the motion that we approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Watson, seconded by Councilman Barton. Any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Littles?
Yes.
Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
Motion passes, minutes are approved.
I'd like to welcome all our visitors that we have here today. Several people I haven't seen here for a while. I'm glad y'all are here. As everyone knows, Councilman Dennis Dunaway passed away this year, and we wanted to recognize the years of service that he gave to this city, and I've asked his family to come here today, and I have a resolution I want to present to them. It's resolution number 13-0909. Whereas it comes to the attention of the mayor and the city council that Dennis Dunaway died on July the 11th, 2013. And whereas it appropriate that honor and commendation should be made to his memory for his faithful and conscientious service with the city council of the city of Brewton, Alabama, from October the 7th, 1996 to October the 4th, 2004, as well as November the 3rd, 2008 to November the 5th, 2012. And whereas the governing body of the city of Brewton desires to make known officially its appreciation for the 12 years of service Dennis Dunaway rendered to the city, its governing body, and its citizens, as well as publicly recognize and express the appreciation of the city and its citizens for services rendered. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the mayor and the city council of the city of Brewton, Alabama, during their regular meeting assembled on this 9th day of September, 2013 as follows. One, that the mayor and city council of the city of Brewton hereby give recognition and express appreciation publicly to the memory of Dennis Dunaway, city councilman, for a period of 12 years. Dennis Dunaway served, contributed, and shared in the growth and progress of the city during his lifetime. Two, the mayor and city council wish to publicly commemorate his memory and express appreciation to his survivors. That a copy of this resolution be executed by the mayor and city clerk and presented to the immediate family. Adopted and approved this 9th day of September, 2013.
Thank you so much.
I have another proclamation to make, and if I could ask Johnny Jernigan to come forward. It's a pro bono week from the attorneys. Proclamation City of Brewton, pro bono week, October the 20th to the 26th, 2013. Whereas last year, 1 in every 4 of the 821,268 Alabamians living in poverty experienced legal problems, with the majority of those civil problems being consumer issues. For instance, credit harassment, utility non-payment, bankruptcy issues, etc. Health issues, Medicaid, government insurance, nursing home, family law issues, divorce, child support, custody, abuse, employment issues, unemployment benefits, pension, lost job and housing issues, unsatisfactory repairs, foreclosure, eviction, poor living conditions, and whereas 20.4% of the citizens in Brewton live in poverty, and whereas each year the low-income citizens of Brewton lack access to legal assistance for their legal problems that are often critical to their safety and independence, forcing them to resolve complex legal issues on their own. And whereas there are fewer than 60 paid aid lawyers to serve more than 422,119 low-income households in the state of Alabama. And whereas although 41% of the members of the Escambia County legal community donated their time and talents in free legal services each year, a huge unmet need for legal assistance remains for disadvantaged in our area. And whereas the state of Alabama continues to be impacted by the lingering national recession and high unemployment, resulting in significant budget cuts to numerous state programs and services, such as indigent, defense, and state agencies, such as the judicial system. And whereas Pro Bono Week 2013 will feature legal aid clinics throughout the state, assisting Alabamians who greatly need legal assistance but cannot afford to pay. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the City Council of the City of Brewton, Alabama, that we do hereby proclaim October 20th through the 26th, 2013 as Pro Bono Week, and urge all Brewton residents to recognize the contributions of our legal community, helping those most in need. Proclaimed this 9th day of September 2013, Yancey Lewis, Mayor. Thank you.
And there will be a legal clinic that week here in Brewton at the courthouse, as we have for the last 2 years.
We appreciate it. And we have two very popular, friendly citizens here today and to receive proclamations, and I've asked Connie Baggett, who heads up that program, to please present.
Mayor and Council, thank you very much. It's my honor and privilege to present our last two Top of the Town awards, which were voted by people on our Facebook page on Brewton Reborn, to the people that they thought embodied the friendliest people in town. Now this one is a proclamation honoring the Reverend Willie Blue. Will you please come forward? In recognition of outstanding public service on behalf of the city, whereas the City of Brewton seeks to commend and encourage civic pride and Southern hospitality among its residents, and whereas the Reverend Willie J. Blue exemplifies the spirit of goodwill and treats fellow citizens and visitors alike with abundant kindness, and whereas the Reverend Blue spends countless hours ministering to the membership of Second St. Salome Missionary Baptist Church and the community at large, and whereas the Reverend Blue has demonstrated leadership in working to establish the John L. Fisher Community Center for all people to enjoy, now therefore be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Brewton, Alabama, that the Reverend Willie J. Blue is awarded the title Top of the Town as part of the Brewton Reborn Project, proclaimed this 9th day of September 2013. Congratulations. And unusually for this one, we had a tie. And the other person who was nominated and voted to the same 41-vote tie was Brandy Deere. Please come forward and get your award. And she has been an outstanding supporter on our Brewton Reborn page, actually getting out and taking pictures of litter and picking up litter and encouraging other people to do the same thing, to be involved in making our city a better place. And this in recognition of outstanding public service on behalf of the city, whereas the City of Brewton seeks to commend and encourage civic pride and Southern hospitality among its residents, and whereas Brandy Deere exemplifies the spirit of goodwill and treats fellow citizens and visitors alike with abundant kindness, and whereas Ms. Deere spends countless hours working with children and parents alike through the Brandy Deere Foundation to combat bullying, promote academic achievement, and whereas Ms. Deere has demonstrated leadership and compassion to those in the City of Brewton and beyond, now therefore be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Brewton, Alabama, that Brandy Deere is awarded the title Top of the Town as part of the Brewton Reborn Project, proclaimed this 9th day of September 2013. Congratulations. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Connie. I'd also like to read a note I received from Ms. Lancaster, dated August the 20th. Dear Mayor Lovelace and City Councilman, this communication comes to express our gratitude to you for the posthumous recognition of naming Northeast Street, Lancaster Drive, in honor of my late husband, Reverend Dr. H.J. Lancaster. We are humble and grateful to you for this gesture of remembrance of his work and impact in the Brewton community. In sincere appreciation, the Lancaster family, signed by Ms. Lancaster. And we need approval of the agenda.
Agenda's up on the wall as presented. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda this time? All in favor of the agenda as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Agenda is approved as presented.
We call a public hearing to order.
Right, the public hearing was for something Mr. Uhouse put forth on wireless facilities, and I'll call upon Mr. Uhouse to present it.
Mayor and members of the council, the age in which we're living, there's just an explosive growth of communication through wireless facilities. There's an effort on the part of our city in conjunction with numerous other municipalities to institute a wireless communications ordinance whereby we can set up procedure for application, for administration, and for guidelines for anyone who would desire to erect and establish a cell tower in the city of Brewton. Our City Planning Commission has met. We've gone through due diligence and due process. We've published, we've had our meetings, and they've recommended that on this day, this public hearing would be held and that the City Council would vote to approve this wireless telecommunications facilities ordinance, but also would approve a change to our table of permitted uses, making this a conditional use subject to Planning Commission review each time someone would apply to erect a wireless cell tower facility in the city. If it would so please you this evening, this would be taking place by a three-part measure. You would have to vote in second to introduce it, vote in second to immediately consider it, and then vote in second to approve the ordinance. But it does come from the Planning Commission with a request that you take care of both of these matters so that we can have an administrative guideline to manage cell tower construction in our city.
Is there anybody here who would like to speak in opposition to these changes to the land use ordinance?
So we need a motion.
Hearing none, we would close the public hearing.
Okay, that's for both ordinances? You went over both of them?
Well, you can't have the permitted uses without Article 20 being passed, okay? So what are the council's desires on ordinance 13-0909 as an introduction?
I made that motion, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Councilman Watson, seconded by Councilman Littles to introduce land use ordinance amendment 13-0909. Any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Littles?
Yes.
Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
You have the right for immediate consideration at this time.
I make the motion for immediate consideration of ordinance 13-0909.
I have a motion by Councilman Watson, seconded by Councilman Littles for immediate consideration. Any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Littles?
Yes.
Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
Mayor Lovelace?
Yes.
Motion is unanimous. It can be immediately considered. What are the council's desires on the approval?
Make the motion for approval of ordinance number 13-0909.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Watson, and we'll call it seconded by Councilman Littles to approve. Any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Littles? Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
Motion passes. Amendment 13-0909 is approved. The second ordinance is a table of permitted use, as Mr. Uhas stated. This goes hand in hand with that. Is there a motion to introduce?
Make a motion to introduce 13-0909-1.
Second.
A motion by Councilman Barton and seconded by Councilman Watson to introduce 13-0909-1. Any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Littles? Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
Okay, you have the option of immediate consideration.
I make the motion for immediate consideration 13-0909. Repeat. 13-0909-1 for immediate consideration.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Barton, seconded by Councilman Watson for immediate consideration of 13-0909-1. Any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Littles? Yes. Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
Mayor Lovelace?
Yes.
Motion is unanimous. It is immediately considered. What are the council's desires on approval?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Barton, seconded by Councilman Watson to approve. Any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Littles? Yes. Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
Motion passes and ordinance amendment 0909-1 is approved. Thank you.
And on the old business, none is noted. And the new business, approval of the September 2013 account payable.
I make a motion we approve.
Second.
We'll call it a motion by Councilman Poole, seconded by Councilman Barton to approve the accounts payable. Any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Littles? Yes. Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
Motion passes. Accounts payable are approved.
I call Steve Uhas again.
We have 3 additional new matters to present to the council for your consideration this evening. The Planning Commission has met and recommends a change to our sign ordinance, which is part of our land use and development ordinance, regarding wall signs. Our current sign ordinance would allow for a business that is the sole establishment of a principal building to have one wall sign. That has been taken to the Board of Zoning Adjustments on several occasions. The Board of Zoning Adjustments would grant the variance for them to have multiple wall signs. Take, for example, a building like Whataburger, a building like Burger King, a business that is the sole occupant of that principal building, according to the current sign ordinance, would be able to only have one wall sign. And what this would allow is for them to be able to put up to 3 wall signs. And they want to put a logo on one side, a logo on the other side. It just presents them with an opportunity to be fair and competitive with other businesses in town. This comes to you as a recommendation from the Planning Commission, asking this afternoon that you vote to hold a public hearing on October the 14th on this matter.
That'll be at 4:30 in this chamber, by the way.
So we need a
You need a
motion.
motion to...
Motion to hold a public hearing.
I make a motion that we hold a public hearing on ordinance 13-1014.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Poole, seconded by Councilman Barton for the public hearing. Any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Littles?
Yes.
Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
Motion passes and public hearing will be published.
Our second matter is we desire in our beautification effort to clean up and to tidy up Brewton as best we can. Folk in the downtown business historic district are very limited in terms of what signage they can use to make known what they have available in their business. The Planning Commission has met, and what the Planning Commission desires to do is to allow downtown business, historic businesses, to utilize no more than 2 sandwich board signs. You'll notice there are banners that are used and little post-it stick-up signs that will no longer be allowed under our current sign ordinance, but in disallowing that, we feel like it's fair and proper to allow or enable the historic businesses to have some means to get the word out to prospective people who would come to their business. A sandwich board sign could be put up in the morning and has to be taken down in the evening. If it's a corner business, according to this proposed ordinance, they could have one facing one street and another facing another street. If it's not a side business, they could have one to the front of their business and one in the back. But what this ordinance change will do is request or allow that businesses in the business historic district be able to use sandwich board signs, 2 per business, no more than 2. And what we would need for you to do, or ask for you to do this afternoon, is vote to set up a public hearing for October 14th at 4:30 in these chambers on that matter. Yes,
You're saying just downtown area don't want to be allowed to utilize the sandwich board, you're saying?
well, currently, the sign ordinance only allows for sandwich board signs to be used in a B2. We're not affecting that at all. We're going to allow the B2 usage to remain, but we're going to expand it and allow sandwich board signs to be used in the business historic district also.
And a side business, would that be simply a business that's on the corner?
On a street
Pick the
corner.
street?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll have a motion for the public hearing on the sandwich board ordinance.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Watson, seconded by Councilman Barton to approve the public hearing. Any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Littles? Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
Motion passes. Public hearing will be published.
Same day?
Yes, sir.
Same day. Yes, sir.
D.W. McMillan Hospital has been talking for several years about doing some hospital expansion. We're on the cusp of that happening now. In order to facilitate this expansion and for them to do as they desire, they are requesting that 3 parcels of land at the corner of Belleville and Edgewood be rezoned from residential to a B2 business district. Now, you'll see that is shown by that diagram there, and you'll see the yellow shaded with the dark black outline. Those formerly held houses, they bought the property, they removed the houses, and their plan is to take parking off of Edgewood in this hospital expansion and turn those lots into parking lots. That's their plan in this particular endeavor. They've done a great deal of footwork in reaching out to the community and communicating with residents there, keeping them informed and apprised of what their plans are. And we've had planning commission meeting, and we've had no bumps in the road where this is concerned. But the planning commission does recommend to the city council today that you would hold a public hearing on October the 14th at 4:30 in these chambers to consider the rezoning of these 3 parcels of land from a residential district to a B2 local business district.
May I make that motion?
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Watson, seconded by Councilman Barton to approve the public hearing. Any discussion? Councilman Poole?
Yes.
Councilman Littles? Councilman Watson?
Yes.
Councilman Barton?
Yes.
Motion passes. Public hearing will be published.
Thank you all.
I think as many know that Terrell Neal has resigned his position with the Brewton School Board effective November the 1st. I think he'll be in California for a year or more, attending college. So I want to appoint a committee to replace Terrell, and I want to appoint Councilman Cotton, Councilman Littles, and Councilman Barton to that committee. We also have 2 upcoming rec board vacancies, and I want to appoint Councilman Watson and Councilman Poole to a committee to fill those vacancies.
No public comments at this time.
Was we adjourned?